both of these charges hold or will one hold? I'm looking at the unlawfully threatened to discharge at the virtual complainant, a resident of Diamond Estate. If you threaten to discharge, but there's no bullets in the gun.
It don't matter. A threat is a threat.
Yeah, but if I threaten you without a gun, the threat is a threat.
A threat is a threat.
If I say I'm going to shoot you and I don't have a gun, then that charge can't hold in court.
But that's a threat on my life. I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
So you could still take that and make a report to the police.
You can make a report to the police, but if you don't have a firearm or you don't have a history of owning a firearm, could that threat hold in court?
Yes, it can.
Based
a
on
threat
what?
is a threat. A threat is a threat.
Based on what?
Once you have witnesses, a threat is a threat. If I say I'm going to kill you, right? So then everybody is just going to be walking around and say, I'm going to kill you.
But people threaten people all the time. What I'm
Right,
asking
so
is,
why they don't do
I'm not
anything
asking if you'll be
about it?
charged, you know. I'm asking, would it hold in court?
Why can't it hold in court?
Because it could be deemed as an empty threat.
Empty threat.
If I'm telling you that I'm going to take you up to Soufriere and push you off and kill you, and you cannot prove to me how I'll take you to Soufriere and how pushing you off would kill you, do you think that would stand in court?
Empty threats. I think if you leave a leeway for the possibility of an empty threat, people who actually mean to carry out the actions will say it was an empty threat. So for me, there's no such thing as an empty threat. It's coming from somewhere.
There's most definitely such a thing as an empty threat.
Not to me.
So Joshua says in the real world it would hold. He said he should be fired and jailed. How will the new senior magistrate handle this if it comes before him? And that's a good question Joshua asked. How would the senior especially this? So he's 23-year-old. I think Buju had said that he has 3 years in the force. He has been in the force 3 years. So he has been under the current commissioner. So if this goes to serious offences court, which it most likely will, and he is the magistrate in serious offences court, what happens then?
Recuse.
Which was my point from last week.
But we ain't talking about that now.
But yes.
That is a different topic.
So someone else is saying there's no such thing as an empty threat. A threat is a threat.
A threat is a threat.
Let me see. Legally.
There's such a thing as a...
Oh, I can't spell.
If there is, I don't agree with it.
Okay. Uttering a threat requires that a person knowingly utter the threat, convey a threat, or cause a person to receive a threat. A threat is any words, written messages, or actions that threaten bodily harm, death, damage to a real person or personal property, or any injury or death to any animal belonging to that person. A threat can include those that are conditional on the person doing something or failing to do something. For example, saying, if you do not get my money, I will hurt you. Let's see.
Now, tell me if you could fit in empty threat in that definition you just read. Calling it bluff? No such thing as a bluff. That's what they say. So that you would calm down and you would ignore them. And they could quote unquote get away.
I'd really like to hear from a lawyer this morning, you know.
This is going to be the serious offences court and not the magistrate's court. Here's another one. Go to the US and say, I'm here to kill the president.
No, that's a different thing.
How is that
a threat on we have a call coming in.
So the words that are being said. Let me take the call and just write down what I have to say. Yes.
Good morning, caller.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Adolphus Delflesh.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Delflesh.
How
Delflesh should
you?
be able to help us. He was our former prosecutor in serious offences, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the best of my knowledge, there's nothing known as an empty threat.
Okay.
A threat is a threat. And in law, you can be convicted for attempting the impossible. There's case law to that effect. There's precedent to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
tell me if
Delflesh, if I'm charged with threatening someone with a firearm and there's no one who can come to court and witness and say they've seen me with a firearm and my name is not in the registry to own a firearm license, would that charge hold up in court?
Well, I just told you, a lawyer can be convicted for attempting impossible. Once the offense is made out, once there's evidence that the person apprehended fear, immediate fear of their life, even your hands are empty and you say, I'm going to shoot you, you can be convicted for threatening the person.
But Christal, you were saying that leaves a dangerous precedent for persons
Who say I was bluffing?
Now, what if I say, I'll take you to space and drop you out?
How are you going to take me to space?
We can be charged.
Is that a threat?
It's
Is that a threat on
attempting
life?
the impossible. Yes.
No. The discussion, the conversation is a threat on a person's life.
When the person apprehends fear or danger, it's not just saying something. The person who is receiving the threat has to have certain apprehension. It's not just empty, say, okay, I'm going to take you to space. That's not a threat. You have to apprehend fear of your life, immediate fear of your life.
Okay.
That's my understanding of the law.
Okay. So based on your understanding of the law, both charges should hold in court.
Yeah, once you have the evidence. You see, the thing about it, my friend, some people, the law is not necessarily common sense. Some people argue the law from a common sense standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
But the law is the law. And there are certain ingredients that are required to sustain a charge. Now, the common sense mind may not know of the ingredients. The legal mind would know.
Okay. And one last question before you leave. Based on your experience, given that the charges are usually the commissioner of police versus whoever the accused person is, if this case comes before the former commissioner of police, would he have to recuse himself?
Not necessarily. You see, the charge belongs to the state. It is the state that brings those charges. Mm-hmm. And the commissioner, whoever the commissioner is a representative of the state at the time. And that's a formality.
Okay.
In terms of in indictable matters, now it's the king.
Okay.
Rex versus whoever. Before, it used to be Regina the Queen.
Okay. And what about the fact that this police officer had served 3 years in the force under the same commissioner of police?
Well, that has nothing to do with it. The commissioner of police, the Mr. John is now the senior magistrate in the commissioner of police.
Yeah, but he would have interacted with this, or it is possible that he interacted with this police officer at some point.
He did with the law and evidence. His role now is as a magistrate. A judge of facts. His role is not as a supervisor for the police force.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how it is. You know.
I curious to see.
Well, we'll see. Left to be seen.
A matter of this nature would not go to Mr. John. It's a matter of serious offense. Court, you go to chief magistrate.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody had said that before too.
Yes.
Even if it goes before Mr. John, it's a judicial matter, not a disciplinary matter.
Okay.
All right. Thanks very much for informing us this morning.
Take care. Yeah. I forgot to write down the thing I was saying before he called because I was listening to what he was saying. Somebody says, good morning, Gemron. Evidence wins the case, and it's not the Gemron that many people know. It's a different Gemron. This is not evidence, man.
evidence should be winning cases.
Man, we had started talking about it. We got 3 more minutes. I feel like the last 2 minutes I want to give away something. Remember, 10 days of giveaway starts today, and all you have to do is be a part of the program. Listen for when the time is right. And this morning, we're going to be giving away stuff from Frank B. Armstrong, Better Brands Distributors, Massey Stores Limited, and Log Enterprises. All right. So you have to be listening for when for the cue and maybe the question. All right, good. I feel sorry for him because he's 23, and 23 is a very young age to be kicked out of the force. And I said more than one thing in one there.
That's interesting. That's an interesting opinion you have there. Because wasn't it last week that I asked you about the Form 4 versus the Form 3 student? In theory, what if a Form 4 student is in a relationship with a Form 3 student and the age difference is 1 year based on the consent age, and you say, nah, they face what you had to face?
So I am not saying that he shouldn't face what he has to face. And notice I said two things in one.
But you didn't say you feel sorry for the Form 4 student.
because at the time we were discussing the sexual offense
In
and
theory.
the age. Right. So this is now practical. And I said,
Mhm.
I feel sorry that at 23, you have to be kicked out of the force.
And at 17, you're labeled a rapist, sorry.
If it's the law, it's the
I
law.
don't know. I think the
If it's the law, it's
other
the
one
law.
was, but please
I
continue.
don't even see how that is comparable right now. I'm so confused.
I do think it's comparable because we pick
Okay,
and
let me-
choose who
let
we
me-
empathize with. Because if we're going based on age, 23 years old, allegedly hand a gun to somebody to threaten a woman. If he kicked out the force, he kicked out the force. I don't feel no remorse for this.
Just because somebody says sorry, it doesn't mean it's remorse.
Okay, why
Complete
is he sorry?
remorse. He's so young. There's someone. Oh,
Is
I
it
see what's
Doc?
happening. 7:59. Oh boy, we're out of time. It's
Oh.
we gotta give away something at 8:05, okay?
All
And
right.
this one is coming compliments Frank B. Armstrong, Better Brands and Distributors. And with that, you're gonna be getting some Oreo cookies, Blue Wash dishwashing liquid, Sweet Stockings, Israel Planting, Candy Box, Curve panty liners, and Trill laundry detergents. To find out exactly how you can win that goody package, be sure to stick around.
And the time is now 8 o'clock in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.